Hey, Pastor Steve Waldron, unbelievable, this free book from the Trinitarian Bible Society on the wonder and the book. I have been totally stunned reading this. I've been taking pictures and sending it to friends of mine, on my iPhone. I have been calling people and reading things out of this book. So I may, not right now, but like over the course of time, just read one of these. Let me just give you an example. Let me just show you what it looks like on the inside first before we do that. You can just see, it's just really easy. You can read it in a minute or two, each little page. It's only a few pages long, maybe 12 or something like that. And it is power-packed. Fantastic. It reminds me of the stuff that's in the front of the Defined Bible by D.A. Waite. Okay, the wonder of its formation. This is just an example. One of the first things about the book that evokes our wonder is the very fact of its existence. For there was never any order given to any man to plan the Bible, nor was there ever any concerted plan on the part of the men who wrote to write the Bible. The way in which the Bible grew is one of the mysteries of our time. Little by little, century by century, it came out in fragments written by various men without any concerted arrangement. One wrote a part in Arabia, another in Syria, a third in Palestine, another in Greece and Italy. And the first part was written hundreds of years before the man that wrote the last part was born. Now, I would take issue with some of the things in there. You guys would know that. Here's a book that took at least 1,500 years to write, spanning 60 generations of this world's history. It enlarges our conceptions of God and gives us new ideas of His infinite patience. As He watched the strain, the haste, the restlessness of man across the feverish years, while slowly the great book grew. Here a little, there a little, history, prophecy, poetry, and biography. It came forth before a needy world in its finished completeness. There was no prearrangement by men, that's true. It is not as if Matthew, Mark, and Luke, and John met in committee, and after solemn conference and seeking for the leading of the Spirit, Matthew undertook to write of Christ as the King, Mark agreed to write Him as the servant, Luke undertaking to delineate Him as the man, and John determining to crown it all by writing of Him as the Son of God. It was not as if Paul and James met and after talking and praying about it, agreed that Paul should write of the doctrinal and James of the practical aspects of the Christian faith. There's no trace of such a thing. They simply wrote as they were moved by the Spirit to meet a present need, to teach some glorious truth, to express some earnest longing, and from the aggregation of their writings came this miraculous unit that we call the New Testament. See, stuff like that, tough to beat. So I may read some more out of this over the course of time, Lord willing. Like the Bible self-authenticating, the wonder of its preservation, the wonder of its interest, which was shocking. I think I read that to Sister Waldron. Unbelievable. Great book. It's 10 pages. You can get this for free. Just go to the TBS website, Trinitarian Bible Society. They'll even have an 800 number. Call and order it. You'll have to pay shipping, obviously. But they've got many of these type booklets, free literature, and most of them I highly recommend. A couple, not so much. God bless. Talk with you later in Jesus' name.